Welcome back to Milk and Honey Oracle. This is a reading for my water signs for the week of October 13th. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you are not seeing this sometime during the week of October 13th, just know that it's a timeless message. And if you are viewing it, you are meant to hear this message. We're going to do a 3-card, 3-theme reading today with validation, and it's going to be about where you are, where you're going, and what is the good stuff. Okay, so let's get going. Water signs, we have new life, unfinished symphony, and yin. All right, so where you are, I think that all of my water signs are in a period of rebirth. Specifically my Pisces, and I can say this as a Pisces, with Saturn in our sign and Pluto changing, really the focus has been, and a number of other planetary energies, the focus has really been on ourself, shedding who we were, thinking about who it is that we want to be, what we want to look like, what we want to bring into our lives. I think it's a big theme among all water signs, right? We're working through some things emotionally, we're healing things so that we can continue to grow and to bring new opportunities into our lives. And I think that the new life doesn't mean that it can't be something physical or outside of yourself. It could be a new job, it could be a new relationship, you could be relocating, but I think it's more got to do with the internal you, not necessarily the you that you show the world, but the inside you, how you think, how you feel, how you perceive things, how you react to things, the changes that you want to make. I think we're shedding a lot of the old and coming into who we are meant to be. And I think that that goes sort of hand in hand with the where we're going, right? We are an unfinished symphony. And I think water signs, more than a lot of other signs, we sort of ebb and flow back and forth. We do a little bit of healing, we put it into practice, then we heal a little bit more, we put that into practice. Sometimes that ebb and flow is we make progress, we disassociate, we take 2 steps forward, we take 1 step back. But that is sort of how things are meant to be for our earth signs. There are hidden symbols, hidden agendas, in that ebb and flow, right? Where I think a lot of maybe, earth signs might see it as a little bit counterproductive. I actually think that the ebb and flow makes water signs more productive. I think that it carries us further than if we were just constantly moving in the same direction. And I think that's what the good stuff is about. Yin, yang, balance, good, bad. There needs to be a little bit more balance, right? And I think the yin is more balance within ourselves. We need to give ourselves more grace, have a little bit more compassion, allow the ebb and flow to happen. Maybe now is a time more of floating than swimming, right? Maybe now it's a period of rest where we need to go with the flow. We need to just kind of be and take in our surroundings, give ourselves some strength, like renew our energy before we move on to the next step, right? Because with water signs, there's always something that's coming on the horizon. So we need to be more protective of our energy. We need to sort of store it up. I'm getting a vision of a silo, right? Like we need to store our energy in a silo because it often needs to come out in one fell swoop, our energy. So we need to store up a lot of it so that it can come out for whatever it is that we're working on. Okay, our next cards are validation for where we are, where we're going, and what the good stuff is. Begin to explore, keep your commitments, and rejuvenate. The begin to explore, it goes with the new life, right? If we're redefining who we are and how we show up, not only to the world, but more importantly, how we show up to ourselves, I think that we need to begin to explore what that looks like and how that feels. And I'm hearing that we should not rush that process. Take our times. I get a vision of someone trying on clothes, right? We need to try on these ideals, these perceptions, these beliefs, these actions, right? Because actions sort of define who we are. We need to try them on. We need to sit with them for a little while, see how they feel, see if they're comfortable. Do they resonate with us? If they do, great. Let's keep them on for a little while longer and see if we want to solidify that. And if they don't, let's get rid of them. Let's keep moving, right? We don't need to keep something as a part of us that isn't comfortable. And I think part of this process is keeping our commitments. I think as water signs, a lot of times we have no problem keeping commitments to other people. Where we struggle is keeping commitments to ourselves. And I think that's really important as we start to define who we are. And it's a huge key to maintaining the changes that we make, is keeping the commitments to ourselves. We need to start to prioritize the things that we want to do for ourselves, even if it means that we get a little bit more time and somebody else gets a little less time. We need to honor our commitments to ourselves in the same way that we would to anybody else outside of ourselves. And lastly, in the what's good, rejuvenating is typically, it always makes me think of someone who's getting a facial. They're always described as being very rejuvenating. I think that's what this process is for us, water signs. I think that as we try on new aspects of ourselves and we prioritize ourselves, it will rejuvenate us to keep going, right? And I think that also goes with the theme of ebbing and flowing. We need to ebb and flow. We need to preserve our energy so that we can be rejuvenated on our path. Okay, our last set of cards for where we are, where we're going, and what is good. The Uncharted Sea, Quieting the Mind, and Willing Release. Such beautiful cards in this deck. The Uncharted Sea, this is us, right? And it goes with the whole theme of ebbing and flowing. We don't know what we're going to look like. That's what we're working on. When you embark on a journey where you don't know the final destination, I think that there is such beauty, not only in the journey, but also in the discovery. And this is telling me, water signs, that we should hold both pieces equally. We should have gratitude and excitement for the journey itself, but we also need to be excited for what's to come, because with each step that we take, we're charting a new course, and we don't know what that's going to look like yet, but there is such beauty and wonder and awe in not knowing what that is. And we really need to embrace that. And I think these last two cards, where we're going and the willing release, I'm getting that these are really just reminders, right? Reminders that sometimes in order to move forward, we need to quiet the mind. We need to go within. We need to ground. Water signs, especially, all of the answers that you are seeking are within you. And the number one easiest way to hear them is really to quiet your minds. Go within. Even inside, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, right? Because sometimes there's a lot of garbage on the inside from years of programming and just picking things up along the way in this journey of life. But quieting the mind, going inside, listening to your inner voice, you can trust yourself more than you can trust anybody on the outside. And then we need to be able to let go of the garbage that we come across on the inside so that we can continue to move forward, charting a new course, so that we can continue to ebb and flow. I think that we know that as we continue to move down this path, that we pick things up and we let things go, and that is the ebb and flow of life. I think this was a beautiful reading, water signs. I hope at least something resonated with you. And if it did, if you would like and subscribe, I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks so much for being here.